Good morning. I see that I'm live. I tried previously, but it wasn't working. And maybe I'll just start by introducing myself. My name is King Wakamenju. I am recording this right here in Kenya, Nairobi. I am the founder of Black Star Media, a communication firm that works with change makers. We use communication tools to enable social transformation, social change, social wholeness. And so the topic for today is the crisis that we are facing today. So I'm just kind of like just riffing, nothing prepared. But it's something that occurred to me this morning because I've been seeing a whole lot of news about femicide in Kenya, about the violence against women. And it's not just in Kenya, it's the whole world, really. And one thing that I notice is that there's a lot of denial by men. There's a lot of distancing themselves, but also there's a lot of buckling down. I've seen in other countries where they'd like hold protest marches in kind of like in solidarity with women who are going through this, and also to call other men accountable and to raise awareness on the situation. But in Kenya, what you see is doubling down. Like it's you'd see denial or blame of the victims, and it's just going around in circles. One moment, oh, it's the women, they should not take money from men. Then you say, okay, but these last two recent cases, the women were older, the women had more resources. So what do you mean that so it's not about that they were taking money from these men. Then at another point, it's why are you blaming men? And in fact, I saw this in a post on Facebook where a man was saying that so somebody else had posted, a very evolved man had posted saying that we cannot continue like this. This has to be called a crisis and we have to do something about it. And so somewhere in the comments, a man popped up and saying, why are you blaming men? Well, what's wrong with you people? And the person who had made that post had said nothing to do with blaming men or saying anything about men. But the interesting thing is that 99% of the cases of femicide, of gender-based violence, are by men. I think 70 to 75% by their spouses or intimate partners, boyfriends, and the rest by strangers or people who were not so well known to them. But to see this person just immediately doubling down and saying, stop blaming men, like, to me, it was just, and I've seen it so much, and not just in this particular post, but so many others, posts by other people, posts by around that. And just the denial and the inability to take responsibility, the lack of empathy for the victims, the lack of empathy for what women are going through, the lack of alarm, because right now a lot of women are alarmed. Even me myself, I have not gone through this kind of things that a lot of women have been going through, but I see it worrying, and that's why I'm actually addressing it here. And that's something to be done about it. So just seeing that, it's really showing a lack of capacity by men to actually take charge in this. And so sadly, it is actually going to be this thing needs to be solved by women. Women actually need to be at the front of taking action, planning, figuring out how it can be resolved. And already it has been women. It's been women raising the alarm. It's been women saying stop it. It's been women going on the streets, organizing. Even in Kenya, we actually have a demonstration set for the 1st of June, which is around this. And it's not the first time. We've had protest demonstrations previous years on different issues. One time it was because of women were getting stripped naked because of wearing clothes that some men thought were what's the word for it? Just really for whatever reason, that maybe the skirt was too short or the top was too tight or whatever reason. But there have been previous protests also against femicide, also against gender-based violence. I know that the government actually formed, I don't know if it was a committee or something, but there was a report that came out last year. But there really has not been enough attention. This is a national crisis. This is something so bad. And so what the crisis is not just that what we're going through right now globally, but the crisis is nobody's planning for it. The crisis that nobody is actually seeing that it's going to get worse before it gets better, and nobody's actually putting solutions towards this because it's not been taken seriously enough. Gender-based violence, really violence against women, is not taken seriously. I was reading a case in the UK recently where about 3 or 4 boys, young boys, raped a young girl, and they recorded it. They literally recorded every incident of it. They recorded the rapes. They recorded, I think it was somewhere like in a thicket or in a bush or something, but they recorded it, and she was screaming and making noise, and they kept on urging each other on, and they recorded this, and so it was prosecuted. It was taken to court, and the judge, I forget his name, but the judge said that, oh, this was not very good of these boys, but he doesn't want to spoil their lives, and so he will not imprison them. And so I saw an interview where the survivor, the young woman, she's felt that, then why did I even have to go to court? That was like just wasting my time and subjecting myself to humiliation. So it's just seeing how there's a lack of concern by the legal system. There's a lack of concern by the political system. There's no concerted effort being made towards this. Even today morning, I saw on Facebook a woman who had posted screenshots from her phone of like her former partner was threatening that he's going to come and kill her. Like, and he actually shared videos of women who had gotten killed, like woman killed by partner, something happened, and like he actually shared about 3 videos and said, I'm coming for you, and I'm going to do this to you. I'm coming for you, and you're not going to live alive out of this situation. And the woman had reported him more than once, more than twice, more than thrice. He had been arrested, but then he was let free. And so he was just, now her partner was like so angry and saying, I'm coming for you now. I'm coming at this time. I'm coming in the morning. You're not going to leave. This is not going to happen. And just the lack of seriousness taken, that this woman, like her only hope is to go to social media and say, guys, I don't know what to do. And in the comments, everyone was saying you need to get a gun, arm yourself in advance. But then also there were also people saying that how many women are in jail right now because of killing the aggressors, killing the perpetrators, defending themselves. So you see how it's just so skewed. It is so off. If dogs were getting killed at this rate, if goats were getting killed at this rate, like it would be a whole national crisis. But with women, it's happening every day. In fact, there's a statistic about every number, is it minutes or seconds, of which women get raped around the world, of which women get killed around the world, without reason. And another thing that men then come to say is that, oh, she did this, therefore she deserves it. No, absolutely not. We can't, like, that thinking is so backward. It is so, like, what, to me, I actually get surprised. Like, what level of dehumanization must you be stuck in to even have the guts to get up and make an excuse for why a human being was raped? And a lot of the time, these women actually, there was nothing they did. There was nothing they did to deserve it. Nobody deserves to be killed. But see, that this is what we're facing today, that women's lives are just getting lost anyhow. Women's lives are just getting women's lives are just cheapened so much. No attention is paid to them. They're not given the protection that they need. And we're just supposed to go on like everything is normal. And so absolutely we cannot. So what needs to happen is that women do need to be the ones to be at the forefront of organizing, and recognizing that governments will not do so much. Like, governments definitely need to be pushed, and please, if you're out there and you're pushing for things to happen, please do. But we need to start planning separately. Like in Kenya, there's an organization that has taken it upon itself. It's a non-profit organization to there's a rescue line. Like if you're in a dangerous situation, you can call and somebody will come and get you. Like you'll be taken out of that situation and you'll be sent to a safe room. But this is run by an individual. Like she does it out of her pocket. She doesn't get any funding from the government or from the public, even in that way. Well, she does get some funding from the public, and even with her, that of course she's running it off her pocket. like just a very shoestring operation. And the few times, I think there was one time when she was criticized for, I think, employing her brother, and something bad happened, and people rained down on her with such force and such malice and such viciousness. And I was just watching it all in such shock. Like, this person, so many times she's waken up in the middle of the night to go and save people, to go and rescue women. And the one time that maybe she's not as perfect as you would want her to be, there's no grace. You're not even, first of all, there's no grace. There's an absolute and utter lack of grace, but you're rushing to cancel her. So, okay, you cancel her. And then what next? And then when you need that help, what's going to happen to you? So it is important. It is important to take measures to start, like, very concerted and structured measures, planning for it in advance, setting up platforms whereby women know that they can reach out, and I guess some are there, but really increasing the support to such organizations that are giving this help, setting up. It needs to be even more on a more, what's the word for it? Kind of like intimate level. Like, it shouldn't just be out there on the internet, but like on plan, but it needs to be like in WhatsApp groups. Like, we need to figure out how to get this information of how you can get help. We need to make sure that it reaches everyone. And we also need to put more concerted effort into ensuring that there are facilities, and the facilities are well equipped, so that we're not just putting it all on one altruistic individual, and to carry it all on her own, and then getting shocked and horrified and hateful and malicious when her back breaks because of all the weight that she's carrying. We do need platforms also for perpetrators to spotlight them and to make sure that there's accountability, that it's not just that they're arrested and then they're taken to court and then they're just set free. Because that's another thing, that a lot of perpetrators get away with it, and then they just go back into the community where they definitely are going to attack other women. We need another thing that I saw. I think I'd started mentioning that the woman who her partner had been threatening to kill. I'm supposed to use the word unalive because apparently YouTube kind of like downgrades or penalizes you for using certain language on the platform. So her help was in coming to social media and kind of like trying to crowdfund support. She had put the guy's number, the guy who the screenshots that she had from the number that he had sent us. So the number was there, and so I called, and I wanted to bring it up. Like, what the hell are you doing? So that to make him know that there's an eye on you. Like, you're not going to get away with this. And so I think that's what needs to happen more of, that if you are in a place where you are being threatened or you are not safe, you fear for your safety, that one big thing that can help you is actually putting the perpetrator in the spotlight. Share his face, share his social media profiles, share his telephone numbers, share where he works, so that people can come up and help, like literally crowdfund, so that you get assistance, rather than just bearing it on your own. So that is the crisis that we're in today, that this is happening and there's not much being done about it, and there's no planning that has been happening for it. So, but I just want to end by maybe just thanking and acknowledging and saluting those who've been at the forefront in terms of trying to give help. Like in Kenya, there's a lady called Njeri Megwe. She has an organization called Usikimie. So salute to her for just being able to shoulder that on her own for so many years. And wherever you are, please, as a woman, even as a man of goodwill, though I'm sorry to say that those are so few right now, we don't even expect, like, there's no even expectation, because a lot of men are still stuck in their denial. as a woman, take initiative, take leadership, step up. Because today it's going to be this woman, the next day it's going to be you. There's a leadership crisis, there's a leadership gap, there's a leadership vacuum, and we need to step up and fill it. Start thinking around what can you do? How can we plan in advance? It's going to get worse. Part of the issue is financial, like we're in a very, as a world, like the finances are really bad. There's huge unemployment. A lot of young men, a lot of men, yeah, it actually is young men, because I was seeing some statistics like in Kenya where the largest number of perpetrators, between 60% of perpetrators are between, I think, 20 and 35. So the financial aspect of things, that when there's joblessness, when men don't have a place to take their energy, they will then use, the woman's body is going to become the punching bag. So yeah, if you're in the trenches giving support towards this kind of work, please, yeah, just to honor you, acknowledge you, salute you. And if you've just been on the sidelines and just watching, please step up, take action. This can't keep on going anymore. We can't have a world where violence against women is normalized. And we actually grew up with it, but it has to end at some point. And part of the thing that's happening is that patriarchy is on its deathbed. And this does look like the last kicks of the dying horse of patriarchy, whereby men are feeling that they are the entitlement of men, their want for control and domination, like it's waning. And so this is a huge kickback on that. There's a word for it actually, it's called extinction burst. That extinction bursts happen when an entity or a system in its final days, when it knows that when it's dying out, it's going to accelerate in its force and its viciousness, just as a way to stay alive. So I don't think that we're going to see this 5 years, 10 years from later. There's going to be something wrong with us. There will definitely be something wrong with us. If 5 years from today, if 10 years from today, we are still seeing the same thing. But I am optimistic that we will not see it. So after the destruction of poverty, what next? Of patriarchy, sorry, what next? And that's what we need to be planning towards, that matriarchy. Matriarchy is the thing. And as to the question of what is matriarchy, maybe I might come back and say some more. But women's leadership, because men's leadership has really been crap. It has failed us. It has brought the world where we are, ruling with their egos, being completely indisciplined with their sexuality, causing women a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, which we have sadly normalized. And this kind of hurt and pain, both in their private relationships, at the workplace, women just continually being in victim mode. So we have to end this situation of women being in victim mode, and we have to bring an end to this crisis. So that's it for tonight. For now, I might be back later on to say some more, but just sharing my thoughts for now. And I guess maybe as we move forward, I'll be saying some on what are we setting up? How do we set it up? But there definitely will need to be a network of some sort, a network of these organizations that are helping women, the police, the government, and also the private sector. We need to bring the private sector in, especially for funding support, because that's something missing, and as well as the legal system. So we will need a lot of people. A lot of this is going to be done on voluntary basis. Like, you can't wait for somebody to come and pay you to do this. But of course, like I mentioned, a big part of it is also going to be looking for support and partnerships so that we bring it to an end. And so that's it for now. And I wish you a good day wherever you are. Bye.